Hey guys, what's going on? Luis here, and as you all requested, thank you very much for reaching the like goal last video. I bring you this continuation of the previous video, what if LeBron never left Miami in 2014? If you haven't seen it yet, then I highly recommend you go watch it before watching this video. It was a well thought out video and it received some positive feedback. The first part just focused on the offseason moves in 2014 just because it was such a circus and so many moves went down that it deserved its own video. Today's video, part 2, will consist of more 2K footage and just basically simulating the aftermath of all the moves that happened in the 2014 offseason. Yes, I will be planning to use all NBA 2Ks from 2K15 all the way to 2K19 if needed. I'm going to try not to make this video as long, keep it brief and at a reasonable length. Really quick, if you really want to help this small channel grow, please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so, and just continue to show support. Comment some big NBA what if scenarios that you'd like to possibly see soon, and you never know, that might be my next video. But anyway, I'm going to start with a quick rundown of the previous video. I'm not going to go into detail at all, but if you have any questions about anything, refer back to the first part and then you'll know why. So let's get started. July 11th, 2014, LeBron decides he is going to remain in Miami. It gives time for Pat Riley to build a new roster around LeBron, since everyone but 2 players is an outgoing free agent, while also focusing on bringing D Wade and Chris Bosh to return, who would both have to take a major pay cut. Kevin Love remains with Minnesota. Andrew Wiggins is ecstatic to play alongside Kyrie and this young Cleveland core. J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert would have not been traded to Cleveland. No sense of urgency for Cleveland to pursue this trade. They focus on staying young and rebuilding. July 15, 2014, D Wade decides he will return to the one city and team that he loves. He signs the 2-year $31.1 million contract with the Miami Heat. July 30th, 2014, Chris Bosh signs a max contract 5-year $118 million with the Houston Rockets. Chris Bosh won 2 championships already. Now he wants to get paid, and he now goes to play alongside Harden and Dwight Howard for a lot more money than what the Heat could offer him. Houston was originally targeting Chris Bosh in 2014, so this was extremely possible. Miami does lose Chris Bosh, but they gain Pau Gasol. They sign him for 2 years, $22.3 million. Houston would have a cap freeze the following 2 seasons due to Chris Bosh's injury. Luol Deng never signs with Miami, signs with Dallas instead, who was interested in him at the time. Pau Gasol with Miami never goes to Chicago. Chandler Parsons signs with the Bulls. Throughout the season, Miami is still able to cross paths with D-League player Sean Williams, Tyler Johnson, and Hassan Whiteside, who all earn a spot in the roster and some even in the starting lineup. Miami decides to pitch Ray Allen, but he decides to take a year off, as he originally mentioned. He takes some time to think about things, possibly retirement. Dion Waiters never ends up getting traded to OKC. Cleveland plans to remain with him. This already affects the 2016 Thunder team, who reached the Western Conference Finals. OKC is still in pursuit for a shooting guard. Knicks trade J.R. Smith to OKC. Cleveland trades last year's #1 overall pick and cash considerations for Wizards Trevor Ariza. This is currently a look at the Miami roster. Miami still has all the pieces that originally were involved in the Goran Dragic trade, so they decide to bring in the final piece to help them try and win a title. Miami goes from this starting lineup with Norris Cole and Sean Williams to this one that adds Goran Dragic and Hassan Whiteside. Miami looks great, and they're the heavy favorites to win it all for the 2015 NBA Finals. Miami goes 66-16 with the second best record in the league behind Golden State. Miami easily beats the Celtics, Raptors, and the Bulls in the East to make it to the finals for their 5th consecutive time. They're going up against the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. Their style of play and the fast tempo was a problem for Miami at the beginning. They've often found themselves trailing when Hassan Whiteside was on the floor, but once they added Pau at the 5 playing small, they found success in their game. Goran Dragic, who has his contract expiring this summer, is playing phenomenal. D Wade showed no signs of aging like he did in 2014. LeBron doing his part and more. Hassan Whiteside just put those exclamation marks towards the end of the game with all those lobs and dunks. But overall, this team was way too much for this young Golden State team. That Miami swept the Warriors in this series. Yes, 4-0. D Wade wins his 4th ring. LeBron wins his 3rd ring. Pau Gasol also wins his 3rd ring, and now has won a championship with both Kobe and LeBron. Whiteside and Dragic now have a championship ring. There's a lot of talks about what this team will do now, but after winning a title, they're all hoping to bring back the same core that won the championship in such a fashion. 2015 offseason, the draft has completely drifted, so now you start to see the big changes in most teams. Here's some of the notable selections. Heat select Kevin Looney with the 30th overall pick. Cavaliers select Kelly Oubre Jr. with the 15th overall pick. Hornets select Devin Booker with the 13th overall pick. Kings select Miles Turner with the 11th overall pick. Knicks select Justice Winslow with the 10th overall pick. 76ers select Kristaps Porzingis with the 4th overall pick. Lakers select Jahlil Okafor with the 3rd overall pick. Magic select D'Angelo Russell with the 2nd overall pick, and Timberwolves and Kevin Love still get the 1st overall pick and select Cat. Miami re-signs LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Wade and Goran Dragic and brings in a few veterans to help them win their second back-to-back. Amari Stoudemire, Joe Johnson, and convince Ray Allen to come back and win one last title. Here's the official look at the roster along with their salaries. This might be the last season where we'll get to keep all 5 current starters. Miami won't have enough cap space to be able to afford all of them, and mostly everyone has expiring contracts next year. Miami is currently sitting at $81.46 million, and that is actually less than it originally was. This season's Miami Heat team might be the best version that we'll get to see in this video. A few moves were made during the season, but none of them were noticeably big or likely to make a huge impact in the league. He just traded away Josh McRoberts and Udonis Haslem in order to clear up cap space for next year and keep most of the team intact. Miami ended the season with a 63-19 record, finishing with the 3rd best record in the league, only behind OKC and Golden State. Just like we all imagined, they made the finals easily by beating Atlanta, Toronto, and Chicago. Only this time, it was not Golden State on the other end. Do you remember when the Thunder were up 3-1 against the 73-9 Warriors? All they needed was one more game, but they had collapsed. Well, this Thunder team is slightly different because there is no Dion Waiters. They have J.R. Smith, who originally helped the Cavs win the title this year, but he's been crucial for OKC. I swear I'm not making this up, but 2K actually had Golden State up by 3-1. OKC came back to this series to a game 7, and I was watching it all unfold, and J.R. Smith actually made a crucial clutch play on the defensive side of the ball to create the steal with very little time to go in a close game, and made OKC win the Western Conference Finals. J.R. Smith guarded Klay Thompson very well in this series and also put himself in a position to knock some 3-pointers to help this team. Obviously KD, Westbrook, Ibaka, and the Twin Towers at the center also played a huge role, but this seemed like a dangerous team going into the finals. And yes, after such a huge display, there is a guaranteed KD is not going to Golden State anymore this summer. Huge criticism awaits for the Warriors. They made it to the NBA Finals in 2015 but got swept. Then they had an impressive record winning regular season and were up 3-1 against another juggernaut in the West, and then blew that away. Curry still manages to win back-to-back MVPs, and they're still one of the top teams in the league. But it's a wrap because KD never goes to Golden State, and we might not ever see them like how we see them today. You can bet that they'll try again next year with Harrison Barnes returning rather than him going to Dallas, but that's that. As far as the NBA Finals go, it's a rematch from 2012. Miami Heat and the Oklahoma City Thunder meet in the NBA Finals for the second time. Let me tell you right off the bat, this series did not go well for Miami. It was kind of a pain to simulate and watch it unfold. The Heat, the team that I thought would actually win it all, primed and ready, stacked with talent, got swept. What happened exactly? They simply just got outmatched. Let's start with the fact that LeBron was too passive. Every chance that he got, he would pass the ball to Hassan Whiteside, who played terrible. Whiteside never found his rhythm, got outplayed by Steven Adams. We're used to seeing LeBron trying to take over games like he originally did in 2015 and 2016 finals, but he only averaged about 23 points per game. That's not of his standards, but with too many egos and talent around him, that's what you can expect to see. Goran Dragic just turned over the ball way too many times, and Pau Gasol just disappeared completely. The only one who really showed up and did his part in this series was D Wade. He came up strong and he's up there in age. That didn't stop him. So that's the story of the 2016 Miami Heat team, basically a disaster. They lost to a rematch against the Mavericks in 2011. They lost to a rematch against the Spurs in 2014, and now it feels a lot like it did in 2014, where eyebrows were raised and reporters started asking those questions. What happens now? And unfortunately, I don't see any scenario where I see LeBron wanting to return to Miami for the following season. I'm sure he's always had plans to return to Cleveland, and what better timing to do so than right now. LeBron returns to Cleveland for the 2016-2017 season. D Wade decides to also return to his hometown and play for Chicago. Miami ends up paying Hassan Whiteside with a max contract, hoping to build a team around him now. Houston waives Chris Bosh and is no longer dealing with a cap freeze. My guess is Pau Gasol still ends up with San Antonio to play for Greg Popovich. KD stays with OKC, and OKC still has most of his championship core intact. Serge Ibaka for Victor Oladipo, that trade never happened. Harrison Barnes resigns with Golden State to fight for another shot at a championship. And in the draft, Cavaliers select Thon Maker with the 10th pick. Lakers get Jaylen Brown with the 3rd overall pick. 76ers select Brandon Ingram with the 2nd overall pick, and Celtics draft Ben Simmons with the 1st overall. So far, LeBron's new Cleveland team consists of LeBron himself, Kyrie Irving, Andrew Wiggins, Trevor Ariza, Thon Maker, and Kelly Oubre Jr. What do you guys think? think? Could he possibly challenge OKC or Golden State with this team? I was actually hoping to simulate all the way to present day with LeBron in Miami, but I think it's obvious they wouldn't continue together after how the 2016 NBA Finals ended. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to drop a like, and I will see all of you in my next video. I hope you all have a blessed day. This is Sin Sports, tuning out.